And now double click on multiply. Now what we need to do is we need to make this button use that method inside that class. So I'm going to create a new decimal called answer, and just in case you try to multiply a decimal, which we're not going to do, but now just make answer equal to formulas. So notice it automatically notices my class. See, this is a class it's noticing that I have called formulas. So I'm going to do formulas dot multiplication. So now I'm going to use the method in that class that I have called multiplication. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare what those two integers are. Remember, whenever we did this, we have two integers that the multiplication method uses. So let's go back over here. Oh, whoops. Let's go back over here, and then we're going to declare what those integers are. So int, we're just telling it that that we're using an integer when we do this, because we have to put int inside those parentheses to tell it it's still an integer. And then I'm going to use the numeric up down dot one dot value. And the numeric up down 1, that, and I just realized I messed up on that. That is these. These things are called numeric up downs, and they're actually text boxes, but I'm going to get rid of them because I just remembered I can't use text box. Well, I can. However, that's more advanced. We're going to go over that later. Right now I'm just going to use a numeric up down because you don't have to convert it or anything. These can automatically use integers. Let's resize the, oh crap. I have to take down the maximum size and the minimum size, sorry. Well, I could just resize these, but yeah, that'll work. Okay. Okay, so those are our numeric up-downs, and actually lowercase n. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, for my first integer, the value that's inside the numeric up-down 1. And we have to use value because it's a number. If it was a text box, we can use text, but it is a value, so we're going to use value since we're working with numbers. And now we're going to use the other int, and we're going to make that one the numeric up-down 2. Let's see, it notices my numeric up-downs that are on now. And we're going to use the value of that also. Oh, whoops. The value of that also. Close off your parentheses. And there, you have just called your method, or the class and method, which you are now going to use to your advantage by doing this. What we're going to do now is we're going to output a message box. Remember the snippets I went over? You can just put in MB and then tab, and it creates a message box for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the answer is ... space and the quotation marks, and then plus answer. So basically what we have just done is we're going to use the answer class or the answer variable that we have declared over here. See, we created the decimal answer, which is going to take the return value of this method multiplication, and it's going to make it equal the decimal that we've declared now called answer. And the message box is going to output the answer is, and then it's going to add on the answer that we have created over here. So it would now output what the multiplication is of those two numbers. But we won't stop there. Now we're going to add on just something for fun. If you put in our /n, that creates a new line. It goes to the next line so that it's not all just one long text string. It goes to the next line on the message box. You'll see what I mean in a second. And we'll do thanks for using Chris's multiplier. Okay. And then we're going to close that off. So basically, what it should do now is it should take our method if I go over this correctly, it should take our class, and then it should take the method inside of that class, which is multiplication, right over here, and it should take the first value and the second value, which we plugged in over here, which is going to be the value inside the numeric up down 1 and the value inside the numeric up down 2. And over here it's going to multiply them together, and then it's going to set x equal to those, and then it's going to return x for us. So the return value of this method will be x, and over in our form, it's going to take that return value and output it in an answer, the decimal answer. It's going to output it in a decimal form, just in case you wanted to multiply decimals, but it can also multiply a solid number. So let's go ahead and run it and see if this works out. Remember, you can run by debugging. There were build errors. Oh, it was just me being stupid and forgetting a semicolon, apparently. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Yeah, I had a little moment there. Right, so here is our program fully finished. And if we make these 3 and make this 4, it should turn out to be 12, right? Well, the answer is 12. Thanks for using Chris's multiplier. And about this program, we haven't put any code in for that. But now, if you review over the past few minutes when I went over this, then you can figure out what classes do and how they work. But I'm going to go ahead and add another extra that might make your coding all that much better. We're going to go ahead and make this button say output a message box that says multiplier version 1.2, and then we're going to add in a new line, which is breaking and going to the next line, and we're going to make it say released for open source development March the 7th, 2010. Oh, sorry about that. And then we're going to close that off and add in another line. I like to keep my code fairly organized, so I just add on every... You could just put the new line inside this and then keep going with it, but I like adding it on with pluses just to keep it organized. That way I can just read through it and see when it breaks off onto the new line. And you have to use the pluses so it adds on new things. You can't just like declare a new one, because then it doesn't know to add that to it. It's not inside the message box. So now I'm going to put in scripted by Chris. Alright, and there we go. That's our little extra for you, using message boxes once again. Now, multiplier 1.2, released for open source development, 3-7-10, scripted by Chris. And that is the tutorial showing you classes and methods. Just rewatch it until you understand what classes and methods are, and then get ready for my next tutorial, which will be more in-depth, where I'll be using for and while loops to do something a little more creative. And eventually we'll even get to the stuff where we start developing full-scale projects. Also, stay tuned for a challenge. I'm going to be doing coding challenges where I tell people to upload their programs, and I'm going to be judging the different programs and the beginners to see how well their progress is going with their programming. I look forward to seeing what some of you are creating with these ideas. It's mostly just basics, but it's good to know the principles, of coding with C#. So see you in my next tutorial. Thanks for watching.